Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I'm gonna have to come with you. No. When do we start?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Zach and I'm here with a John Connor to my T800 Jared.
Come with me if you want to live.
No, you're John.
Oh.
I guess he says that in some of the movies.
Yeah,
probably.
he does say that in the first one. John Connor says, come with me if you want to live.
That's Kyle Reese.
Oh, never mind.
I saw him this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you go with him? And did you live?
No, he didn't look real happy to be there.
Wow.
So
well, I mean, he was in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Some people looked excited
It's
it.
the Queen City. It's not the real Queen City, though. That's Bangor. I like Manchester. It's not a bad place.
No, it's fine.
Where was the con?
Doubletree.
Oh, it was in a hotel.
They have a big expo room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you stay in the same hotel?
No, it was like $200 cheaper to go 5 minutes down the road.
Oh, wow. That $200 is $200.
Plus a continental breakfast.
Oh, was it a good continental breakfast? Because that's
They're
a real
never
key.
good. They're never
That's not
good.
true. When I went to Gettysburg and we stayed at the Hilton. Oh, no, it wasn't a Hilton. It was a Hampton Inn, which is a subsidiary of Hilton. It was prime. It was really, really good.
I've never had a good continental breakfast.
That's because you probably go to cheap hotels.
I do.
See,
that's how I saved the $200.
So you shouldn't be expecting a good continental breakfast.
I wasn't,
Well,
but it was still breakfast.
And it was, well, not free, but because you paid to stay there.
Yeah.
Did they have a pool?
I don't know.
Or a hot tub?
I don't know.
The scalding waters of the hot tub?
I don't really spend a lot of time doing things outside of the room.
You're like, as long as it was clean, nice bed, that's all you really care about.
Essentially.
Did they have a good TV in there?
It was fine.
Did you like having cable for a couple of evenings?
What is this weird line of questioning? Yeah, I watched some movies.
Wow. Well, because you didn't have any basketball to watch anymore.
No, I do not.
No. So how did the con go overall, though?
Overall, pretty strong. It was a 2-day show. We went down Friday night, and I'd sent out a couple of emails to people ahead of time. I'm like, hey, I'm going down on Friday. And the main Buffy series artist was there, who my wife and I have interviewed before. He's like, so what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. Let's hang out.
Wow.
So he hung out with him on Friday.
Very cool. Why didn't you take and record something with him for the other show?
We already did a full interview with him.
Oh, yeah, it never hurts to do another one.
Yeah. But that was cool. Show was really busy on Saturday. Sunday it died because there was a race that shut down road access to have people be able to get in there. Plus the Patriots were playing, so those were two big strikes against Sunday.
Yeah.
But I guess the cool thing that if you look over there, I mentioned this a while ago. I have an animation cell.
Oh, wow.
Of all 4 turtles. And all four voice actors were there, so I got it signed by all of them. Yeah, that sucker's worth a decent chunk of money now. That's a rainy day fund right there.
Wow, I guess so.
I was trying to figure out what its value was online. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not really seeing anything comparable to that. So, haha, setting the price.
I guess you are.
Yeah, but so that was cool. Yeah, it was a good show. Glad we did it. Very tired because of it. Still haven't recovered. Still haven't fully unpacked.
I ran into somebody we knew this weekend.
Okay, is this a show conversation?
Yeah, it's a show conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, why so defensive, Zach?
I don't know if you're like, well, I ran into, I was trying to think of a name, Trey.
No.
Random name from the past.
That's a very random name for the past. No, I was out doing some Sunday morning errands, and I was lured into the local Dunkin' Donuts by a dancing coffee cup and a prize wheel. You know me, I'm a sucker for prize wheels and dancing coffee cups. And Sound Guy was there, helping run a promotion. I won a $10 gift card.
Cool.
And a high five from a dancing coffee cup.
Was it sexy?
It was an iced coffee.
So it was a little sexy.
It wasn't hot.
So, yeah, I don't know. Fun guy to run into.
All right.
I'm glad a dancing cup persuaded you.
Well, I didn't know he was there until I was like, saw the dancing cup, and then he kind of popped out from the shadows. And I'm like, oh, it's Josh.
All right. So that'll probably do us for that. Let's move on to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Oh, and what a news week it is. Well, it's honestly not. It's kind of late.
All right.
But still some important stuff. I plucked the best stories there were.
Good.
All the information you need to know all about pop culture. Like, here's the thing that we were all expecting, but now it's been confirmed. Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd, they're back, baby.
Dan Aykroyd was on the Joe Rogan podcast last week. Very strange. He is he knows everything about like alien abductions and the occult.
Oh, I'm sure that's what because I've seen clips of him on the news, saying how aliens are a thing.
Oh, he knew all kinds of things.
So, I'm sure, yes, he knows.
I listened to it for a little bit at night and it freaked me out, so I wait till the daytime to listen to more of it. But he has a those all about like the crystal skulls, and he has a vodka that they sell in Crystal Skull. Yeah.
Yep. I don't really like Joe Rogan's show, but he is a guy who will make you seem like he's on your side to get the weirdest crap out of you.
I enjoy it. It's fun to listen to.
I think that's the reason I don't like it. Is it just seems
because it's fun to listen to.
Well, it's pandering to the guest always.
That's what you should be doing. You should be pandering to me every week on this damn show.
You're not a guest.
You should still be pandering to me nonetheless. I voluntarily spend a week of my an hour a week with you.
Like, that's community service.
It really is. I feel like I've backlogged. How many episodes have we done?
This is 181.
181. So that's
minus 2 that you weren't on.
So 178 episodes.
It's 179.
179 episodes.
That was really basic math.
Whatever. We've established on this show that I'm not good at math at times. That's almost 7.5 days worth of time I've spent here on this show with you. 7.5 days of my life that me and the listeners are not getting back.
Also, I guess let's be clear. If you don't know what franchise they're part of, they're coming back to Ghostbusters. They're going to be in Ghostbusters 3.
Can we talk about that for a minute? It would take you a whole week to listen to every episode of the show back to back.
And some of you have.
You poor fools.
Yeah, you're getting that back. When you're on your deathbed, you'd be like,
man, if I just had one more week to live, I'd trade in
podcast.
listening to that stupid show and those dumb bastards.
I'm not surprised that they're back. I'm glad they're back. I want there to, whether this is a passing of the torch, like Force Awakens style or something, which is kind of the format I'm expecting. We'll probably see something familiar with an old mentor doing something, and maybe Bill Murray will die like Harrison Ford did. It's like, I don't really want to do this anyway.
If he gets like cut in half by one of the proton packs.
But that was always the public perception, but based on recent stuff, he sounds more on board for it than he was. Like, of course I like those movies. They paid for my kids' college.
Yeah, he's still making money from them.
Yeah. I don't really have that much ill will compared to Harrison Ford, who's like, I hate everything.
Well, those movies also helped propel him to...
Yeah.
Once Star Wars was a hit, he was like, oh, great, now I can go to work.
Star Trek seems to be having an effect.
Yes?
On other streaming services. This is just speculation on my part. But Battlestar Galactica will be getting rebooted on NBC's streaming service.
The Peacock.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Yes, that's the one.
Did you also see they're going to reboot Punky Brewster?
I did. That wasn't really pop culture.
What was the other one that they were going to reboot? There was another one that was kind of pop culture-y. It wasn't Saved by the Bell. What was it? I was reading it today.
It was one of those awful things, yeah.
What do you mean it was awful? Punky Brewster was not awful.
I never saw it. I have no opinion on that.
But yeah, the Battlestar Galactica reboot is big.
You ever watch that show?
Little bits and pieces of it, but...
I haven't seen a minute of it. It's one of those shows I always meant to get around to. And of course, Ronald D. Moore of Next Generation fame was the guy who was the showrunner.
It is a Saved by the Bell reboot.
Who cares? With
original cast members Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez.
I definitely don't care.
Well, so the Punky Brewster reboot is going to have Soelle Moon Frye, who played the original Punky Brewster, as an adult version of herself.
Never saw it. No opinion.
Wow.
Everything old is new again.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. Battlestar Galactica, they said this is also going to be on the most recent iteration, not the original one.
Really?
But I guess it feels like that's the Star Trek effect.
Could be.
Like CBS is
Did you see some of the ridiculous movie numbers for buying up the rights to some of these shows? Like NBCU got The Office from Netflix for $500 million.
They bought their own property back.
They had to. It's the most watched series on Netflix. Then Warner Media got Friends from Netflix for $425 million. Netflix then bought the Seinfeld rights for over $500 million. Netflix has to have something, right?
I have Seinfeld over there. Excellent special features.
You didn't pay $500 for it.
No.
Yada, yada, yada.
But yeah, so Battlestar Galactica is coming back for those of you who enjoy that show, and I know a lot of people do. Let's deal with the rumors of the week. There's a couple of them.
Yes, let's perpetuate speculation.
I am also not saying these are facts. I am full on saying these are rumors and could amount to nothing.
All right.
Rumor has it that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back for the Black Widow solo movie since, with her dying and all, this is clearly a prequel-esque movie or right after Civil War.
Yeah.
And my thought to that is, I don't know, probably not.
See, problem for me is they all kind of got everything all tied up and now we're going to get another little, I don't know how I feel about it now.
He's been such a driving force behind all these movies, and even movies that weren't his, like the Spider-Man movies are all about him. Do we need the Black Widow movie to be about him too?
No.
Yeah, for as fun as it would be to get a little bit more. If he shows up, great, I'm not going to complain. But from the outside, I would probably lean towards seems reductive to add him in there. On the other hand, if it gets out that he is, I'm sure that would help ticket sales because people would be like, this is the last time we get to see him.
Like, this to me is like nothing but trouble, because like to me it's like a breakup with a significant other that you really, really liked, and you knew that that they're not really going to be part of your life anymore, but then they come knocking on your door and there's that one time, and then you're going to be full of regret afterwards, and you're going to be like, man, I know I shouldn't because this isn't really healthy for me anymore, but I can't say no to you. And no?
This feels specific, but I also feel like it hasn't happened to you.
I've watched a lot of rom-coms.
Specifically. It feels specific.
No, I'm just saying it has that kind of feel to it. Like, we're over, we're done with, we've started to heal and move on, but yet here you are again, knocking on my door.
You're just a money-grubbing hoe. You cost too much. I mean, that was part of the reason why Downey's out is Downey's pricey.
Yes, he is expensive. Not cheap.
So for a solo movie it'll do good numbers, but it's not gonna be one of their top ones, probably. I mean, I could be wrong. But my guess will be that like mid-tier box office amount in Marvel standards. I don't think they really need Downey.
It'll make its money.
Yeah, I don't think they need him to make this work.
No, probably not.
Other rumor on Disney Plus, much like whatever the hell the DC, is it DC Universe, whatever the DC one is called, that Marvel will be putting out their old animated shows on there. So you get your 60s Spider-Man, your 90s X-Men, your 90s Spider-Man, your 90s Fantastic Four, your 90s Hulk, your 90s Iron Man.
I love the 90s.
What were the other ones? Your 90s Silver Surfer.
Give me all of the 90s.
And I guess whatever happened in the 80s. Like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Man, I miss the 90s.
So many of those shows never got DVD releases. X-Men did. Fantastic Four did for some reason. But like Spider-Man, which was one of the more popular shows, and from, 25-year-old memories, one of the better ones, that never got an official DVD release. I remember going into Midtown Comics, like in the mid-2000s, and like the first thing you see when you walk through the door was bootleg DVDs of that show.
Yes.
Like, just even back then, I'm like, seems sketchy. They don't do that anymore, but they used to.
Well, I mean, yeah, people would sell them out of the back of their cars.
Hey, why not just dump them on there? If you got them, then you can use them to just boost what you have for content.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. I'd be surprised if they didn't, because unless they're going to go through like the process of doing a remaster and then putting them out on DVD and Blu-ray and all that, or just dump the content that you have and get more people to sign up with the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
So I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, I bet this is a rumor, no guarantees, but I bet that's the way it'll go.
Easy to find it, and it's, for a reasonable rate, you can have your trip down memory lane.
And go, oh yeah, this isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah, it was a thing. Oops.
When X-Men came out on DVD, like 2008, 2009-ish, I remember I bought all those and I was like, oh my god, the show is so great. Then I watched them, I'm like, it's fine. It's better in my memory.
It's probably best left to memory.
Yeah. Still, it's good enough. Totally a good enough show.
It's serviceable and passable.
But like in your brain, you're like, it was so epic. And then it happens. You're like, oh, it's just 2D animation for kids. Okay.
Says the man who doesn't like Hanna-Barbera and He-Man, and that's 2D animation too.
I'd like to revisit the X-Men show again, though. I haven't watched it in like 10 years. Maybe it's good again. Maybe I've come back around.
Let's hope so.
I haven't seen the Spider-Man one in 25 years. I remember liking that.
I feel like for the show, you should sit through an episode of He-Man.
I don't think I ever have in my entire life.
Well, we're going to change that.
We'll see. More official news. Okay, this one's not fully official, but it's weird. So I wrote it down. You like The Far Side?
Yeah, Gary Larson.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Lawson, I should say, not Larson. Or is it Larson?
I think it's Larson.
It might be Larson. It's coming back?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
There's something vague on their website that just says it's coming back online, but doesn't give any details beyond that. I mean, Bloom County did it. Bloom County's back every day, just on Facebook.
It's a place where it is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't read a Far Side comic in
a while.
Yeah, but I always, I remember enjoying them.
Yes, they were hilarious.
Yeah, so why not bring it back? Especially if you have a medium you can do it in. Solicits came out this week, and it's official. Doomsday Clock, I say official, it still could get delayed. Doomsday Clock is supposedly ending in December.
Oh, maybe December 31st, when the clock strikes midnight?
Yeah, that literally the Doomsday Clock will go down to 0 minutes and we'll all die.
Well,
maybe.
It was a good run.
I mean,
figure about so I can find 7 days of my life I'd like back.
At this point, it'd be more surprising for the apocalypse to come in this series to actually finish.
Wow. That would. Yeesh.
I'm catty.
Are you now?
Also, Tom King's Batman run is ending in December, ending at issue 75. Or is it? No, it's 85. Ending at issue 85 before he transitions over to the Batman Catwoman series.
Wow.
Some people, I like the run. I'm not going to say a lot of people don't like it. Some people don't like it and thought it's dealt with too much like PTSD and self-reflection. I personally enjoyed the run, and no one's been announced yet who's going to replace him. I'll be curious to see what that name is. My money's on Tom Taylor, but who knows? Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I've enjoyed his run, but he's going to still get 12 more issues with Batman Catwoman. Other weird news, The Dark Knight Returns, one of the best comics of all time. Maybe don't read the sequels. Is getting another sequel.
Okay.
That's how I read The Dark Knight Returns. I go, look, it was 4 issues and nothing else. Nothing else.
All right.
But The Dark Knight Returns is getting a one-shot story, 48 pages, written by Frank Miller, not drawn by him, though. Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child, focusing on Carrie Kelly in what looks like a Batman-esque costume, also dealing with Superman and Wonder Woman's son and daughter.
Are there any wards in this?
I mean, Dick Grayson was a decapitated head that could talk to you in the palm of your hand.
That seems a bit much.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. That's why we don't read the sequels. Maybe we'll do it for this show. Yeah, but then I'd have to order that book, and I don't want to.
Hey.
So I don't know. It could be good. Dark Knight 3 wasn't bad. I haven't revisited it since it came out. I don't know. Maybe don't see. It's already been done a couple times, but it's just hard doing a sequel to like one of the most beloved comics of all time and going, what else? Oh, it's not as good. But I don't know. We'll see. That's coming out in December, I think. And that's it for the news. There's some other stuff that happened. Conan's getting a mini-series with Moon Knight called The Serpent War. We'll see what happens. But that's really it for the new pop culture news in the most part.
Did you know about the life-size Iron Man model that was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con of Iron Man?
No.
It's 6.5 feet tall, weighed 188 pounds, and took precisely 35,119 Lego bricks and 255 hours to build.
I've seen one of the original costumes in an exhibit.
Yeah?
It was the Mark II. I can't remember the name of the exhibit. It was in New York, 2008, 2009, that area. They had a ton of, there was like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, there was Christopher Reeve's like suit, both Clark Kent like suit and Superman suit. The Mark II was there, Keaton's Batman suit was there.
Huh.
There was like Action Comics #1, Detective Comics 27, Captain America #1. There was a fourth comic, I don't remember what it was. Yeah, that was a cool display.
Wow, I guess so.
That was just in some, like, go up 5 flights of stairs, now you're in this exhibit.
That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah. Well, since baseball season is still upon us, going from Archangel to the Los Angeles Angels.
That's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I hadn't finished talking yet.
You weren't going to say of Anaheim.
It's not on my notes now.
Exactly.
Of Anaheim.
Attaboy.
It's time for Jared's Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
So, anything...
Vive la France!
You're going to try and turn it on me?
Yeah.
That's how you're starting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, FIBA World Cup is over. Serbia won. U.S. got 7th. They were eliminated by France.
Oh, oui, oui.
It was kind of because it was a bummer. They were up in the fourth quarter. It had been kind of a back and forth. They were trailing a bit. Then they were up. They were up at like 5 points.
Sacre bleu.
It's like, okay, you just got to maintain. You don't got to go nuts. You just got to maintain.
Oui.
Don't screw it up.
Oui.
And then you know what happened in the last 5 minutes?
Merde.
And yes. It was like an 18-5 run. I'm like, that was the screwing up I was saying. Don't do that.
Tabernacle.
So yeah, they got eliminated.
That's more of a French-Canadian thing than it is an actual French thing.
I think there are positives that came out of it, though. If you're looking at it, I'm looking at it specifically from a Celtics point of view.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
You got to do chemistry building with their new point guard with a couple of their main players. They got to go under the tutelage of Greg Popovich, the best coach in the NBA. Yeah, I think those are positives.
Ouais.
It'd be nice if they won, but, I think at least there are
C'est
positives
vrai.
to take away from it.
C'est vrai.
Yeah, then they got 7th.
C'est très vrai.
And then, anything happened with the Patriots?
Oh, did there ever?
Literally as we were recording last week.
Yeah, we'll get to that last. Let's talk about the Red Sox. They're all but mathematically eliminated. They're officially mathematically eliminated from the East, and their elimination number from the wild card is 4. So probably by the end of this week, they will be eliminated from playoffs, and that will be it. So they're just kind of in the stretch run here, and they'll be done in a couple weeks, and we'll be into the playoffs. Now, how about them Patriots? A absolute monumental beatdown of the Dolphins in Florida.
Seems to be what the Dolphins are doing, though.
Yeah, I saw a meme. It said, everyone out here in the NFL is treating the Dolphins worse than SeaWorld.
Yeah, I was going to go with one of those, like, 6-pack plastic thingies, but...
Oh, that's more like a tuna fish thing. Or dolphin. No, it's a dolphin thing, I guess.
I'm sure dolphins have got it around the nozzle.
Yeah, they're, I think, they have a blowhole.
They also have a nozzle.
I don't think it's called a nozzle. A nozzle is like something that you spray something out of. It's just their nose.
Okay.
Bottlenose. They're like a bottlenose dolphin. Anyway.
Eli Manning's done.
Yeah, he's no longer the starting quarterback for the Giants, but let's talk about Antonio Brown. And apparently, well, I mean, people knew he was kind of a problem. He's a real garbage human, it would seem. Multiple accusations of sexual assault, rape, butchering of the English language in text message form.
Can't spell lying. Did you? I thought he was trying to spell linens.
I
can't.
read
that.
I couldn't understand what he was trying to say in that.
Lien. That's not how you spell lying.
No, not at all. And then there was a really explosive article that came out from Sports Illustrated talking about other times that he's kind of cheated and swindled. He had a fish tank installed in his house full of piranhas, and then called and said there's something wrong with the fish tank. He hadn't cleaned it, and the piranhas were all dead and rotting in his fish tank.
Compared to accusations of rape, I'm going to put that lower on the scale.
There was also a video that was put on the web, and it's kind of resurfaced of him getting his body fat tested, and during that process, farting at the doctor.
He's very unlikable.
The YouTube channel is called Gassing Him Up. Yeah.
I know it's one of those things where he is innocent until proven guilty, but he just seems like such, and that's also me saying that to be objective. It's not my actual feelings on the topic. Those are different. He's an asshole, and
yeah,
possibly a like very extreme one. Like if the allegations of rape are true, or even the sexual assault ones, like.
But I feel like the Patriots probably weren't as thorough with their homework, and there was a reason why when the Raiders shopped him around, nobody really wanted in on him. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Patriots do here in this situation. I really don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's not a good look for them. It's not a good look for him.
Nothing's been proven, obviously, but I mean, we've talked about this, but it's like of separating like art from the artist, and that same thing. It's all gross, and I hope he goes down if it's true.
I mean, he should pay his price to society if it's true.
And maybe just go away because he seems like a jackass in general.
Yes, he does seem very much like a jackass.
Is that it for sports? Those happy times?
I'm trying to think of anything else happy or positive to speak of. There's been a couple of major renovations and overhauls at the TD Bank Garden. All of the seats are now black.
I saw there were new seats, yeah.
All new seats in black. They've updated a lot of like the video projection system and the sound system. So just in time to watch the Bruins. Oh, and I guess the Celtics when it's time.
In like 2 weeks.
Oh, other big kind of news, a big rash of quarterback injuries. Ben Roethlisberger out for the year, needs elbow surgery, probably done for his career. The word is it's probably going to be Tommy John surgery. He's 38, so he's probably done. Drew Brees has to have surgery for, I think, some ruptured ligaments in his thumb. There's some video where he couldn't grab the football. You want to see something really gruesome, watch Trevor Siemian break his ankle or dislocate it.
After Gordon Hayward's ankle, I don't need to see any more ankle injuries.
It's different.
Doesn't make it good.
He walked off the field. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks. Plus, the Jets are really, because Trevor Siemian was the second quarterback, and then their primary quarterback, I can't think of his name right now, has mono.
I saw that. The kissing disease.
He's listed as out indefinitely. Sam Darnold, yeah. His recovery will last 3 to 7 weeks and is quarantined and away from the Jets. Plus,
as long as he's not kissing them, he should be fine.
Well, no, he has mono, all right? So that's going to take more than just the 3 to 7 weeks. Like, mono really takes it out on you.
Drop like 20 pounds.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of weight. So, yeah, really it's become a two-team race in the AFC East. What did I see? Someone had placed a bet on the Patriots to win the AFC East, like a $6,000 bet or something like that. If the Patriots win the AFC East, they'll like make 65 cents. They're that heavy a favorite.
Jeez. Oh, and I forgot to...
Luke Falk will be the starter, which he has something in common with Tom Brady. They were both drafted 199th overall, but 18 years apart.
I forgot to do the top 10 comics of the month.
Well, no, we do that after sports reports, don't we?
It is in the news usually.
Oh, whatever.
Look, there were 7 books over 100,000 copies. That's good. Units overall were down 2% from this time last year, but sales were up 5%. That's probably because Marvel Comics 1000 was like $10, and that was number 2.
Okay, that was it.
I just did an abbreviated version. Absolute Carnage number 1 was made the top of the list.
Oh, I meant to mention in the news they're talking about doing a Princess Bride reboot, a Princess Bride remake.
Okay.
No, don't.
I don't care. It's not going to affect anything.
Wrong answer.
What's that hand motion?
I'm making an X.
Okay. Looked like you were throttling someone.
I could too. Don't touch perfection, man.
All right. So from there, we are going to move on to this week in comics history. We're doing things out of order this week.
Whatever.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
It's fine because this is going to be a short one.
All
you know how
right.
most weeks I'm like, oh man, some biggies this week.
No?
Not really.
Okay.
It's a very small week. There were a lot of minor first appearances that I didn't bother writing down because they were very small.
Yep.
But let's get into it. This week in 1973, Howard the Duck made his first appearance, created by Steve Gerber in Adventures into Fear, number 19.
Yay, Howard the Duck.
Good comic, bad movie.
Great movie.
What are you talking about? Deathstroke the Terminator was introduced in New Teen Titans number 2 in 1980. The famed run from George Perez and the guy that wrote it. People are yelling at me now. I can't remember.
Wow.
A more recent first appearance, but still a biggie. Gwen Stacy from Earth 65, Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider. First appeared in Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 in 2014.
Nice.
Yeah, she's new, but she's popular. And then the biggie. When I say biggie, it really shows that this was not a big week in comics history. Spider-Man, the TV movie, premiered in 1977. It was 90 minutes, meant to be a backdoor pilot, and, according to all sources, including me, no good.
All right. Thank you.
A backdoor pilot that went nowhere. Because Stan sold the rights in the 70s and they made a movie. He's like, that's not how you do Spider-Man. And they're like, well, you sold the rights to us, so yeah, this is how you do Spider-Man.
I'll get you, Spider-Man.
But that's it. That was the whole thing. That was this week in comics history. So from there, we don't need these anymore.
Wow. Okay.
We are going to move on to a Jared's Reading Corner.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
Before we start our read in that corner,
Do you have your soapbox ready?
no,
'Cause this book has a soapbox.
I got some context for you.
I like context.
So, since this year is the 35th anniversary of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we are going to do a Ninja Turtles comic. Is this the worst one of all time?
I don't know. I haven't read enough to really...
Possibly.
Okay. I'll take your word for it because I think you've read every single one.
When I think of bad Ninja Turtles comics, this might not be the worst, but it's always the first one that jumps out in my mind.
Okay.
This comes from Tales of the TMNT, Volume 2, number 26.
And this is generally recent.
Yeah, 2005.
Wow.
2000, no, it's 2006. And this book, as with so many from Tales Volume 2, has never been reprinted because the sales weren't that good, and even in the reprints, so they kind of stopped doing them. So if you want to hunt this issue down, there's only one way to do it, and that's to find the original copy.
Like you have?
Like I have.
Would you sell that?
No.
Oh, there you go.
Can't buy mine.
Oh, well, you sound like you were offering.
No.
Oh.
The series stands as a supplement to the main series. Ninja Turtles came back in 2001 with its own ongoing story, but they still had a whole studio full of people, and the idea was, hey, you guys can write stories that kind of fill in the gaps or just tell kind of one-offs. Go to town.
Kind of like the original ones, like with like when each of the like Leonardo and they all had their own separate
the
ones.
micro series, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tales existed back then too, but that was Tales Volume 1. That only went 7 issues.
Oh, okay.
But this issue is written by Steve Murphy. He is a general fan favorite. For the most part, his claim to fame was writing the Adventure series, which was the series that was, at least design-wise, based off of the cartoon. It was aimed at a younger audience for the most part, but it was also, once they got away from doing episode adaptations, which was very early on, They told a pretty long ongoing story, but there's also a lot of soapboxing in that, mostly around the environment, including like proudly, like in every book, they're like, this is printed on recycled newsprint and blah, blah, blah. But people overall really like his stuff. When he was writing under the pseudonym of Dean Clarendon, for some reason he wrote under a pseudonym when he was just one of the guys in the studio already, or under Steve Murphy. This is an example of using your soapbox weirdly and strangely poorly written, like very stilted. So that's all the context, I guess, to give. Proceed.
Well, this touches upon the very relevant topic of digital gold farming and the sweatshops in China.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke, though. This is like a legit thing. Like, this was a thing that was happening.
It's still a thing that is happening. Every single Tales issue would start off with whoever the writer was. They'd do a little front piece, and they'd say, hey, this is what's going on like in the studio, or this is what I'm doing for the story, blah, blah, blah. Very nice, kind of a way to bring you in.
Yes.
For this, Murphy was like, I was listening to NPR, and I heard about this happening in China, so this is real.
Yeah, so anyway.
And then he yells at America.
He pretty much, the whole front page is just holier than thou, and it's called The Value of Gold. And all of the S's on the title page, dollar signs.
Oh, man, so, that's those fat cats getting their dirty money.
Yes. So the first part is you're in a virtual world, a virtual video game, and you need the virtual gold to do the virtual things. And Donatello is playing this, and he can only proceed so far because he doesn't have enough of the virtual currency.
7 pages. 7 pages of Donatello playing in just an online game.
Yeah, with some guy who claims to be 10 years old.
Massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
Mumporg, I think, is how you would say that. I don't really know.
You don't say it as one word, you just say the letters.
Whatever. I like to say Mumporg. Anyway, so he gets frustrated about not being able to do that. Meanwhile, the other turtles are doing like real turtle things like bench pressing with Casey Jones and working on their skills, and he's just complaining about sucking at a video game. So he calls up this random guy he knows from the internet who is not 10 years old like he claims to be on the internet, because the internet's full of catfish.
Yeah. He claims to be a 10-year-old boy. He's definitely like in his 50s, pot belly, balding. He has a delicious meal of hard liquor and cereal.
It might be like hard liquor and mac and cheese.
I guess it could be. That cereal
or ramen.
could fill anything.
Ramen.
I was just guessing cereal. You're right. It could be any kind of basic
if he's having the hard liquor, he's probably not having, cereal with it. I try not to mix my dairy and alcohol.
We call that a White Russian.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of White Russians.
Oh, they're delicious.
That's good for you. You can have the White Russians. I'll stick to my mimosas and beer. Anyhow.
So this weird pedophile that Donatello is playing with, this alcoholic pedophile.
He's like, oh, I bought a lot of this virtual gold, so with money, because I have it, because I'm
on eBay.
Yeah, and he's like, eBay my shell. So he decides it's time to find out what's going on. And Donatello gets on his giant soapbox of morality and says, I'm going to find this place, and we're going to kick some butt. And Casey Jones is like, yeah, thuggery, let's go.
He says he friggin' hates poor sportsmanship.
Yeah, well, I mean, I find that hard to believe because he would break every rule in hockey the way he plays. He has a hockey stick and he slashes. He pretty much assaults people.
So worse than just icing. He did more than that.
The icing is benign, dude. Icing, nothing. Slashing, not nice. Boarding, cross-checking, not nice. Icing, lame.
With the most basic one, like, look out. It crossed some lines.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Ooh, the puck crossed the lines. Anyway.
So Donatello reads one article, decides this has to be stopped.
Yeah, and somehow is able to find a place, which was a Lederhosen factory at one point.
In New York, Donatello, Raphael, and Casey Jones go out to stop this when they find it's a sweatshop full of illegal immigrants.
Well, hold on. Before you get there, Casey Jones does ask a good clarifying question. Is this illegal? And Donatello says, no, but it's immoral.
Great.
So just because it's, so really they're like being both immoral and illegal by going to like physically harm people over this.
Yeah, this gold mining. And
violence is the answer.
RPG. And they find the leader. And they're like, hey, we're going to stop you with violence. He's like, you could.
Mr. White and Mr. G are 2 people here that own this facility.
But if you stop us, where will these people go to work to support their families?
Well, let's not forget that they're also this guy said he worked a 72-hour shift and he got a couple hours of sleep in. They're just going to give him a Jolt energy drink and some Visine for his eyes.
That'll wake you up.
It certainly will give you a... Have you seen this Bang energy drink?
No.
300 milligrams of caffeine.
Disgusting.
That's a lot of zip. How much caffeine did Jolt have in it? Just as comparison, let me look up Jolt caffeine.
Also, they don't really react to the fact that they're being threatened by mutant turtles. They can talk. That's weird.
Jolt Cola had 10 milligrams of caffeine per fluid ounce. How much is that total? That's 160 milligrams for a 16-ounce can. Caffeine strength, very high. All the sugar and twice the caffeine. Jolt Cola.
But the workers asked them to leave, so they still have jobs.
Meanwhile, there's Bang. Extreme warning. This drink has high levels of caffeine. Look at that. People say it's wonderful. I don't dare try it. I feel like I would blow up.
So they leave feeling defeated, and they're like, America, what a place to live. Except this was based on an NPR piece on something happening in China.
Yeah.
Who are we mad at here?
The people. Red Bull only has 80 milligrams of caffeine.
But you're getting on a soapbox about something that I'm
more concerned about all this caffeine these people are consuming.
I know, you really fell off this issue. Like I stopped caring a while ago.
Yeah, I didn't really care when I read it, to be frank.
It's just a dumb soapbox.
I mean, I get what they're kind of leaning towards, like, exploiting people for financial gain. And that's probably more what the underlying, underpinning into this is kind of, it's, a different type of sweatshop and not necessarily the, they're making sneakers, like they're playing video games, but they're still being mistreated so people can make money. I mean, that's been kind of a point of controversy in the United States in some circles. It's a great place for people kind of making money, but not really claiming taxes because it's not a real currency.
But from the context we have, the only thing that the writer was going in with, something happened in China, so I'm going to shame America.
Well, I mean, back in the early 2000s when this came out, that was people were buying, and the people still do buy. They spend money on currency that has little to no actually has no real value. We're not talking like a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency here. We're talking about credits for a video game.
It's all stupid. This issue is stupid.
Yeah.
It's also weirdly stilted in the writing. And it's so short because 7 pages are wasted on Donatello playing a game.
It
doesn't add anything to the story. You could literally cut that down to 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just filler. Like someone got mad one day and they're like, I need to write a script about this. And they're like, I don't have enough material because I heard this on NPR one time. 2019 is the year of weird crap, and this...
But this didn't take place in 2019. It wasn't written in 2019.
Well, I'm just saying, our reviews are the things we talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for 2020, baby. That's going to be exciting. I mean, it can't get any weirder in 2019, can it?
I mean, I can dig deep if I try, but...
That's not.
This is just no good.
So we're almost at spooky season.
We are. The Tales series it can be a lot of fun. There are some highlights, there are some low ones, but this is scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, it wasn't really like... It felt more of like an after-school special than like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story.
Have you learned your lesson?
The more you know.
I know I have.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Not following up on whatever that was.
That's okay. They took the G.I. Joe safety PSAs and people overdubbed them. You don't remember we used to watch these and laugh hysterically?
Sure.
I'll play one for you later.
Great. All right, so from that weird and terrible issue that I don't recommend you read, but if you want to, you got to buy the original.
If you want something funny, Google G.I. Joe pork chop sandwiches.
So from there, we're moving on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
If you want to write us a letter, more specifically an email, you can do it at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. Get your questions answered.
We do accept carrier pigeons, smoke signals, and telegram.
But I won't respond to them.
Well, I'm your singing telegram. What movie?
I don't know.
Clue. Then he shoots him.
I haven't seen Clue in a while.
Yeah, get with the program.
Tim Curry's in there, right?
Yes, he is. He's very much in that.
Question for this week. I threw away my notes, so I'm going off memory here. With all the new Disney Plus shows announced, what will Marvel do next for a character? What character will they introduce next?
Stiltman.
They could, but I don't see him leading a show.
No, probably not.
Or a movie.
Well, I think we've talked about it. I think the next logical progression is X-Men. X-Men or Fantastic Four. I think that's going to be...
those are the obvious ones.
Yeah.
I dug a little deeper.
Okay. I'm going with the obvious ones.
Yes, they're showing up.
Yeah.
Hey, let's have context again. Back in the 70s, kids, Marvel liked to sell their stuff for TV and movies. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. But the Hulk went off really well in the 70s.
But we already have the Hulk.
Well, that's why we have She-Hulk.
Ah.
Because Marvel was afraid that... I forget what studio had it. CBS? Let's say CBS. It might be ABC. CBS.
Yes?
Was going to make a female version of the Hulk that they wouldn't have any rights over.
Okay.
So they created She-Hulk. We're getting that. And because of the recent news that's happened in the world of Marvel Comics, I would say, drum roll, Spider-Woman.
I didn't have a symbol. Sorry.
She was created for the exact same reason as She-Hulk. It was just a way to protect their IP. They introduced these new characters.
Could they do Spider-Woman, though?
Yeah, she's totally separate.
Okay.
100% separate.
Well, then that's possible. I mean...
She wasn't bit by a spider or anything. Silk was. That's a different character, though.
Silk is smooth.
Bit by the same spider.
Wow, that's a durable spider.
Yeah, he just kept going.
Attaboy.
But my guess would be Spider-Woman. If you want to take away Spider-Man, well, just do a different character. You're still not going to get like the Rogues Gallery, but that seems like the kind of middle finger Disney would be willing to do.
And then totally ruin any chance of getting any more Spider-Man.
Separate character, doing different things. She shoots little, what is it called, venom blasts from her hands. She was evil, she was an assassin, and then she wasn't. It took like an issue or two to make her good.
That didn't take long at all.
But yeah, my guess would be Spider-Woman. Just, okay, if you're going to take this away from us, or you could go like the CW model for Supergirl. I haven't watched the show in a couple of seasons, but that show was just a Superman show. They just took Superman stories and just did it with Supergirl.
Huh.
I mean, it was also about like being a sister and stuff, but their core of like the punchy parts those are just Superman stories. They just took Superman stories.
Could the newspaper editor of instead of the Daily Bugle, it could be like the Daily Trumpet?
Oh, there is another newspaper. What's it called?
Is the editor Leon Lewisington?
Oh man, what's the name of the other paper? There isn't.
Because you have J. Jonah Jameson, very alliterative.
I understand what you meant.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about naming somebody Carl, but then I realized we're going down a shady path.
Don't alliterate something with a C or a K sound.
Yeah.
There is another newspaper in the Marvel Universe, and I'm blanking on the name of it.
I don't know.
I can't help you on it off the top of my head. But yes, I mean, I don't think they're going to go one for one, but my guess would be Spider-Woman will probably be the next one announced. Just a guess. I could be wrong.
Well, there you go.
Or, you know, also the X-Men and Fantastic Four. So you're right. You're definitely going to be right.
Ha ha!
Great. All right. Is that it?
I think so. If you enjoyed the show, please help us out. Go to do it wrong every week now. If you enjoyed the show, check us. Man, here we go. I think I got it this time. If you enjoyed the show, help us out. Go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole day early. Lucky you. You can waste that 7 days of your life one day at a time, one day earlier.
You know, you don't sound supportive.
I am very supportive. You're not wasting your time. This is the best thing you could ever do with your $1 a month. Plus, you get spoiler and spoiler-free reviews, Patreon exclusive of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly from Zach and Emily. There's one that they're going to record right after I leave their house, in fact.
Yep.
Be excited about that. You can also visit Zach 210 Water Street in Hollowell. He's also on the internet, editorsnotecomics.com. He's on all of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Although he hasn't used Instagram in a while, but still, it's one of the social medias, and he has one. And yeah, that's about it. Any sales?
No.
No? Any shows?
No, I just got back.
Okay. Can you leave again? It was nice when you weren't in town.
And you have a show that someone listens to, I guess.
Yeah. The Coach's Room podcast. We have one that we're going to record this weekend. It's going to be really good. Rob Munzing, longtime football coach at Gardner, owns Munzing Media. They do a lot of sports coverage, local high school sports coverage. Going to talk football with him and building up local digital sports coverage. So really excited to have Rob Munzing on. That will drop on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd. So that's coming your way shortly. And you can find that on all your favorite podcasting platforms.
And there's a Twitter.
Yeah, I'm at Junior Rich.
We'll be back next week. It is almost time for the holiday season. The Halloween season.
Spooky season.
But we're not quite there yet. So come back next week, find out what we're going to talk about.
Should be exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Halloween.
You told me it was going to be exciting this week, and you lied. And then you chuckled like that. That's very unsettling.
I'm looking forward to our third and final annual drinking game.
Oh my God, not again.
You skipped it last year. You're like, I have water.
Well, I'm a role model for youth.
Are you a role model if you say you're a role model?
I'm a role model.
We'll be back next week for something pop culture-y.
Stay cool, Space Cats.
It's not getting better. All right.
It hasn't changed. It is. Give it time. Give it time, Space Cats.
Can I just hit the stop button?
Whenever it's your show.
Stop talking.
Space Cat.